If you don't have a cup of coffee in your hand right now, you will within the next few minutes, because we are going to inspire you and educate you about coffee. You might want to change your buying habits. I'm with a fascinating woman with Ferra Coffee. Ferra is a specialty boutique coffee. This is Susan Jaime, I should say a super taster. And you travel all over the world and source coffee beans.
We do.
And roast them.
Yes, we do. We work very closely with growers so that we can select our coffees that are specialty and organic. And also we can help educate them as to what their coffee is really all about and be able to sell it for a better price.
How wonderful. So you're educating them. And you said most of them have never tasted their coffee.
About 89% of the coffee growers worldwide have never really tasted their coffee roasted so that it can be put in the international market.
Because they're always farming it.
Exactly.
Selling it.
They sell every little bean.
Well, it's fascinating because all of us, I think, kind of get in a coffee habit. And then when you see more about the behind the scenes, it's just like your produce or anything else, the wine, so much that you take it back to the origins and it really affects the final product. There are what, 3 different levels of quality here?
That's correct. So you have the commercially graded coffees. Commercially graded coffees generally are going to have a lot more defects. And those defects are pretty much driven by what that grower has done when they're harvesting and when they're planting their coffees too. So we can get here where the commercially graded coffees are and start showing them, okay, this defect is because of that product or so and so.
So you teach them things they're doing in the farming process that's damaging the bean, right?
Correct.
And the lower, well, the commercial
graded,
there are a lot of beans in there that are just simply flawed, right?
There are a lot of defects here, and those defects actually, if you consume the coffee that is a commercially graded coffee and it's roasted light, they can harm you. So they're carcinogens, and also they have different coffee beans that have different problems, and therefore it can give you heart palpitations, it can give you heartburn or secondary effects.
So if you're having some of those symptoms, you may need to change your coffee,
exactly.
right? That makes total sense.
Absolutely. So if you see a coffee that is very dark, that is roasted very dark, generally it's going to be a commercially graded coffee. They have to roast it like that in order for some of those defects not to harm you.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so that's one of the grades.
Correct.
These are 2 of the other grades, and it's even just to the uneducated coffee bean eye here, I can tell there are differences in color.
Exactly.
And you can see the beans obviously that are flawed. Now, for example, these are the quality beans you source.
Correct. So these are specialty graded coffees. They have hardly any defects. You can see that the color is a beautiful green blue, and that's because it has a beautiful water saturation. We want coffees that have about 12% water saturation. That is a healthy amount of water within the bean. So this is our little sponge. Okay. And anything that is around it is going to be absorbed into it.
So it's like the wine takes on the flavors of the terroir.
Absolutely.
Same thing with the coffee.
Yes, all the coffees have different profiles, and it's because of the terroir.
So talking about the roasting process, what is the roasting process?
The roasting process is pretty much the same way that you would bake.
Okay.
Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to bake the coffee bean. The water saturation, of course, is going to decrease as the time of the roasting and the temperature increases. Depending on the profile that you want, you can let some air in or some air out to cool the temperature and manipulate that.
And then that's where a talented, experienced roaster comes in, knowing when to pull.
Sure, the more you roast, the more you know your beans, your origins, the more comfortable you get. You're going to start by dumping our coffee beans.
Okay,
into
anytime?
the dust. Yes. All of them. Very well. Then we're going to open the chamber, and you can see that the coffee is actually coming down into the drum. What coffee is doing there is floating. It's just floating. Once it's all in, we'll close it so we can have our heat concentrated there. And what we're doing when we're roasting is we're going to check temperature. We're going to check color, smell, and time. And if you smell right now, it's going to be like a beautiful grass, light smell. Right?
Yeah. Oh, it's turning brown.
So what we're going to do is we're going to open the vent and let some air into the drum. So that's going to kind of stop the process from being too fast and get a little bit more flavor. Okay. So this knob here, we're going to open it. Let me get on the
all
other
the
side.
way?
All the way up. It might be a little bit hard.
Yeah.
There you go. Perfect. beautiful color.
Oh, yeah.
Smell that? Right? We close it now.
Okay. They're cracking again.
Faster.
Yeah. Oh my.
See, it's starting to get color.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna dump it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna stop the burner, which is there,
Yep.
and then we're gonna dump the coffee. Are you ready for the smoke?
Look at that.
What we do here, this is something that is done also in Africa. Basically, we spread the coffees to cool it down very slowly. For people that have gout or are very sensitive to the acidity of coffee, this will get the pH and also the acidity of the coffee controlled by very, very slowly cooling it down and letting those carbohydrates settle into the bean. And that way you don't have all that acidity. Very, very well.
Look at all those beautiful oils.
Exactly. All those are sugars. Well, they call them oils because of the surface of the bean is, it looks like an oil, but really it's sugar.
Interesting.
Of course, right now there's gases coming out of the bean, CO2. Once it's degassed, then we're ready to package it and take it to our customers. Okay, now I'll let you smell that.
Man, it's totally different.
It is, it is.
And it's lovely.
It is. It brings comfort, it brings a
Wow,
memory.
It does,
It
absolutely.
It does, yes.
Wow. Doesn't get any fresher than that.
No, you're a great roaster.
That was great fun. I love it.